What is a paleontologist? What does a paleontologist actually do? A paleontologist is someone who studies fossils and prehistoric creatures. When you think of a paleontologist, you probably think of someone kneeling in the dirt, someplace like the American Midwest, combing through the soil with a pick and a brush. Unlike many stereotypes, this one is actually pretty accurate. This past summer, I went on a dinosaur dig sponsored by the Tate Geological Museum in Casper, Wyoming. We did actually spend a lot of our time kneeling in the dirt in Wyoming combing for fossils, but what did this process actually look like? How do we know where to dig? The very first step of digging for dinosaurs, if you don't already have a site, is walking around looking at your feet. But you don't really look at your feet, you look for surface bones. Surface bones are exactly what they sound like, the bones of a prehistoric creature sitting on the surface of the ground bleached white by the sun. When you find a group of surface bones, you start digging around. If you're lucky, and a lot of paleontology has to do with luck, you'll find a major part of the skeleton, and if you're not, you keep looking. On my dino dig, we were lucky. One of our team members found huge surface bones, and those bones turned out to be about 15 feet of the tail of a Diplodocus. Now, what's a Diplodocus? In short, Diplodocus was a huge sauropod from the family Diplodocidae. There are two valid species of Diplodocus, Diplodocus carnegii, after Andrew Carnegie, a very important sponsor of paleontology in the 19th and 20th centuries, and Diplodocus hallorum, after Jim and Ruth Hall. Diplodocus was an herbivore, or plant eater, grew up to 79 feet long and 12 metric tons, and lived at the end of the Jurassic period between 154 and 152 million years ago. After we found the surface bones of the Diplodocus, we started digging. We used paintbrushes, small broom brushes, various types of handheld picks, and even pickaxes to excavate our Diplodocus. In the field of paleontology, especially for amateurs, the constant question on a dig is rock or bone? This isn't really an easy question to answer, but generally, bones have more texture than a rock, they have little lines called striations, and are typically darker than the rock around them. Once you found a bone, you shouted for joy. Once you did that, you got rid of as much of the soil and rock around it as you could, and then you covered it in Vinac. Vinac is a colloquial term for polyvinyl acetate, and it's pretty much just a really strong glue that does a great job of holding bones together. Since we only had a week at our site, we were only able to plaster larger sections of the skeleton, in this case, most of the large vertebrae. Plastering a skeleton is messy work, but it's pretty simple. You dip pieces of burlap in liquid plaster and layer them over the fossil section until it is completely covered. Once the section is dry, you very carefully get a flat spade underneath the fossil and flip it. You label the fossil chunk and put it in the truck for safekeeping. At the end of the day, a paleontological dig can be one of the most satisfying experiences of someone's entire life. The feeling of looking down at a dinosaur is astounding and unmatched. So, if you ever find yourself missing the good old days of your childhood where you got to play with dinosaur figurines all day, try going on a paleontological dig. It might just change your life.